Well, we thought we'd keep Kindle Fire. We're going to upgrade it very substantially, change the processor, it's 20% faster. We've doubled the RAM. The net effect of those is it's 40% faster, and we've even made the battery life longer. So, for this new, fully upgraded Kindle Fire, what's the price? $159. Shipped September 14th. Now, we were incredibly happy last year to have the best tablet at a certain price. This year, we want to have the best tablet at any price. Kindle Fire HD. And we decided to go big. Our large display tablet is only 8.8 millimeters, weighs 20 ounces. Gorgeous 8.9-inch display, 254 pixels per inch, in-plane switching technology. It's stunning. In-plane switching and very high resolution. If you want a really great display, those two things are only the beginning. You also need a great polarizing filter. We've got the advanced true wide polarizing filter. It's by far the best, and it makes a big difference. Is it a little more expensive? Yes. Is it worth it? Absolutely. How about glare? How are you going to put the touch surface on top of the display? That makes a big difference. The typical way is to just layer it on, creates a tiny little air gap, twice as many opportunities for reflections. We didn't go that way. We laminated the touch sensor on top of the display. Is it more expensive? Yes. Is it worth it? Absolutely. Why? Because you get 25% less glare. You guys are going to get to see these displays a little later. You're going to see how good they are. So, can an HD tablet stop with an HD display? No way. I'm going to tell you why. As soon as you go to HD, all the content gets big. Here's a game. It's almost 3 times the size in HD as it is in standard. Magazine, more than twice the size. Movie, 3 gigs versus 785 megabytes. So, when you put an HD display on a tablet, you have to make sure that the other subsystems on that tablet stay in proportion. You have to seek balance. You don't want to be that guy in the gym who overexercises one muscle group. Nobody likes this. This is what you want. Balance, proportion, it all has to work together cohesively. So besides a great high-definition display, what do you need? Well, you better start out with a great processor and a great graphics engine. That's what we did. The OMAP 4470, 12 billion floating point operations per second. That's 50% more than the Tegra 3. How about memory bandwidth? 7.5 gigabytes. That's 40% more than the Tegra 3. This, combined with great software integration, is what makes a device smooth and snappy. Okay, how about sound? If you're going to have this gorgeous display, don't you also want glorious sound to keep it in balance? Well, here's the standard today. One speaker, mono sound. We thought we could do a little bit better. Put in dual stereo speakers. Is it harder? You bet. You've got to package them in there. It increases your bill of materials. We also added Dolby Digital Plus. This is the first tablet to ever have Dolby Digital Plus. It's the same sound that Dolby puts in high-end home theater systems. It makes a huge difference. It's worth it. All right, what else needs to be kept in balance once you add an HD display? Well, has anybody ever seen this? Or maybe that? Nobody likes this. Nobody likes this. What does that mean? That means Wi-Fi matters. Wi-Fi is crucial on a tablet, and other tablet makers are not paying enough attention to Wi-Fi. They are not giving it the attention it deserves. The 2.4 gigahertz band, this is one of the many alphabet soup-ish things about Wi-Fi, A, B, G, N, 2.4, 5 gigahertz, dual band, so on and so on. The 2.4 gigahertz band has been around 15 years, and it's gotten unbelievably crowded. Baby monitors, cordless phones, even microwave ovens operate in this band. And your neighbor's Wi-Fi access point does too. So you can add a second band, 5 gigahertz. It's newer, it's only a few years old, and it's much cleaner. This makes a big improvement. Many fewer devices operate in this band. There's something else you can do if you're serious about Wi-Fi. You can add 2 antennas. 2 antennas make a big difference for a couple of reasons. The first is something called fading, and you've experienced it. Pull up to a stop sign in your car, and your AM/FM radio might fade out ever so slightly. And if you roll forward just 3 inches, literally, you can roll forward as little as 3 inches, the signal comes back. That's fading. Well, if you have 2 antennas, you don't need to roll your device forward. The software on the device can be smart enough to just select the antenna that's experiencing less fading. Makes a very big difference. There's another reason why 2 antennas is good. That's if you position them properly on the tablet, if your hand obscures one of the antennas and reduces its efficiency, the other antenna can take over. Okay. Those are all good, and they're all hard to do. There's one more that's really state-of-the-art. It's called MIMO. Now, radio would be much, much simpler if there were no objects in the world. And by objects, I mean walls, ceilings, refrigerators, cars. All of these things reflect the radio waves, and you get echoes that confuse the receiver. If you were in a mountain pass shouting at a friend 100 yards behind you, trying to convey a message, it's very difficult because of the echoes. You start shouting the message, and your own message starts stomping on itself. Well, what MIMO does, with enough computational horsepower, and it takes a lot, you can turn the echoes upside down and turn them from a cacophony, from a disadvantage, into an opportunity. The way it works is, with MIMO, you treat the echoes as a second chance to hear the signal. You hear it once, and then you hear the echo, and then you hear the next echo, and the next echo, and each time you hear the echo, you get a chance to untangle that encoded communication. This was actually figured out in principle a couple decades ago, but it was impossible because it requires ridiculously large amounts of computation to do. In fact, it's still so computationally intensive that it can only be done in silicon. You have to do it in hardware. And today, only a small number of high-end laptops incorporate MIMO technology. Or I should say, until today. Because Kindle Fire HD is the first tablet ever to incorporate MIMO. It's got dual band, the 2.4 and the 5 gigahertz, 2 antennas, and MIMO. Let's see how it stacks up to the competition. iPad has the 5 gigahertz band, but only has 1 antenna, no MIMO. Nexus 7 doesn't even have the 5 gigahertz band. What is the result of this for users? Kindle Fire HD has 41% faster Wi-Fi than the latest iPad, 54% faster than Nexus 7. If you're going to have big HD content, this is important, because nobody likes looking at this. Okay.